Welcome to another episode of At Your Disclosure. This is Alexstrom and Tovar giving you the scoop. And that's what I was telling you about my pants. I took one standing and in the dark. I accidentally got it on me without realizing, that I was falling asleep. But I managed to take care of the restroom. And, like I said, real proud of myself for my accomplishments, whether good or bad. And it was after the split that I decided to start the show. My wife had gotten this, and I should have given it back to her, but I had promised her, but she ended up getting her old, bigger one, and that's me in the corner. And like I said once before, being told by one of my principals, without realizing that on assignment being related to Settle Brown was a good idea to make sure the students and the staff members were in good conduct, and for the most part, they were. I mean, I would notice the little things, like for instance, we would have babies show up, or young mothers would show up with their babies, and Rick Beck would be like, "Oh, I'm trying to remember exactly what he would say regarding an inbred behavior, but if you sit back, you kind of figure out that hey, that kind of sounds a little inappropriate, but he's not saying anything bad, so people uh, take things for granted as well as mistake it, and that's just how it is. I had my sister once uh, write for me on the wall. Uh, no one could ruin your day without your permission, and it's true. For the most part, Rosal's a good person. At one point, she was my favorite person in the world, and I told her straight up off the back. And that's what I told her recently because I don't like being that odd, especially with a family member. There is family members that stop talking and they hate each other. I can remember my dad always telling us about brothers where, freaking, they hate each other so much that he'll find out that someone's against them and he'll tell them, "Oh, you want to get them jumping." To me, that's ugly right there. When you have to side with someone else to take your brother out, it's almost like if you don't like someone, just let them be, man. Just stay away from them, and that's it. But I wanted to show you guys my sister's room. Well, actually, my brother's room. It sucks not having pockets. Like I said, these Budweiser pants, they don't have pockets, but uh, I would have easily taken my phone. But anything's possible. So you quickly adjust. I love music. It helps me recollect memories. That's why it was hard for me earlier in the episodes to explain myself better. And it's hard to convince others of who I am because of the level of confidence, but willing to work on it. You definitely want to work on it. And if something helps you out, you feel that it's going to benefit you by all means. It's like that Nike emblem, just do it. But like I said, nothing is perfect in life. But you know, this used to be my brother George's room, and my brother was in the service as well. He was in the Navy, and he was a cook. But there's a lot of times. There's a lot of that's her quinceañera. Like I said, brother being Native American, and I'm gonna find out whether I'm his full-blooded brother or just maybe half brother. It's up for grabs. Like I said, not realizing exactly if if I'm theirs or not. But this used to be my brother's room. I mean, you're not gonna remember anything when you were a baby. But at the same time, too, my brother had the smallest room, and that's how it was supposed to be. Just think of the life we had. My brother's room here. He had a twin size bed. And man, he loved it. He had his own television. He had a little 21-inch LG flat screen. Then my wife and I had the master bedroom. So just think of a time when things were just right. Hard work pays off. When I tell you this, so nothing is perfect, like I said, because just imagine this, okay? And sometimes you could think about it. Like for instance, the landlords, they're probably like, we want the house how it was, and anything is possible. I mean, that's not my fault there. The mold seeping in to the building structure, that's out of my control there. It's based on the foundation, and anything is possible. Just like a family, just like a relationship, you can work hard on it and rebuild it. So that's my brother's room. Brother George, love him. So was my sister, was just going through some tough times, and I told her straight up, hey, something, this has been the lowest my family has gone through, and I feel like crap every day. I pray, and that's what it's there for. Just like love, just like the mind, just like a belief. It's there, but you can't see it. It is intangible. So I have faith that things are going to work out for the better. And knowing that I'm aging, there is within my control to work on it. It just means I'm going to have to work twice as hard. And but I'll tell you this: as you get older, you're going to realize that you don't need as much rest as you would think. Like I said in the service, you're only getting about maybe like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. But it's real important to get some rest, even if you're just resting and without sleeping, because before you know it, you'll be at least sleepy 1 hour at least. But you make your mind up and just do it, without going through the motions. But you would realize that anything is possible. Like I said, the lady wanted her house intact, and yeah, for the most part, she's gonna get it. Like I said, I don't hold anything against them. I hope that one day we can look back and who knows, maybe all of us meet up at the casino, and with the Browns, from the looks of it, we might be related. Uh, there's several Browns in our family, and just like Kevin Murphy had said, we're all related. So he's still a Brown, being our relative, relocating towards Seattle, Washington, and thinking of relocating myself there too. And who knows if things don't work out, I might just uh, relocate out of the country. But I love America. I love the United States, and it's real difficult to see myself anywhere else. But push comes to shove. Like I said, that's alternatives. I lived in different places around the world, and found this place is the place to be. Nothing is perfect. Like I said, you think of children as a blessing and seeing them grow. You gotta take the good as well as the bad. We have stubbornness, but we also have angelic babies, and maybe two of my niece Angelique, freaking. I still see her as when I had first moved in here, moved back. I'd come home from the banks, and like I said, I go incognito. As soon as I get off my vehicle, whether it's the '94 Nissan Sentra GXC to freaking the '97 Green Rodeo Isuzu, or the Dodge Caliber, or the Acura LT early 2000 white, to freaking 2016 Nissan Rogue, to freaking 2012 Nissan Altima. I'd get off my vehicle, and as soon as I seen her, I acknowledge her. Angelique, and freaking they're growing up, and that's one thing you don't want to come to the realization that someone might be a bit on the disdain side. I will be honest with you guys. I probably should have just done this earlier, so that way I could have at least gotten maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep. And now it's gonna be a lot harder because I know once I go to bed, uh, they're gonna probably show up. A lot of times my family gets told what to do. It's unfortunate, but it's reality. And just accepting the fact that they're not gonna change. Some might label them criminals without realizing, because we were real good people back then. I can remember being a little kid. We would make tamales. Well, my father worked two jobs, and both my brother and I will help mother make the tamales, assemble the tamales, and there's a lot of work into it, and it's worth every dime, because back then a dozen of tamales would cost you $10 a dozen, and prices went up. The supply, just the cost to make these tamales and the work you put in it, it's well worth every penny. Even if I had to pay $20, I think tamale prices now in the on the market go for around like $22 a dozen. Uh, I mean, I've seen some tamale makers sell you a dozen for about $10 to $12, basically $1 a tamale, but they're freaking tiny. So that being said, my brother's a he's a real good guy. Like I said, this used to be his room, and that's how it's supposed to be in reality. It was supposed to be my brother's room here, the smallest room, brother George, my wife and I, master bedroom, and my mother's room. But since my they decided to stay, reconcile, and stay together, both my mother and father would occupy this room. So it's hard to realize if I am blood related, but I mean I know for a fact that I look like my dad. So, uh, but then again, you think of adopted children where they they uh, they emulate the adopted parents. Just like any language, you become accustomed to the uh, the parents' lifestyle, and it's good to have faith. Like I said, we're only here for a short time. It's there to basically teach the world to be good with one another. And who knows? Like I said, maybe one day things will change for the better. But in the meantime, you just gotta accept reality and know that it's what you make out of it, wherever you choose to do in life. Just take pride in what you do. You should be fine. And it's funny how being in different rooms makes you feel a certain way. And I'll explain to you guys something. When I would come home from the banks, I would unwind. That's funny. Chat Delado once told me he had because they was paying attention, they was listening. He would tell me that when he goes home, he gets on Flight Simulator with his drink. So he had his other hand, in opposite direction of his upper hand. And I do off the back with him, man. And a lot of people go to Circle K, they'll buy themselves a bipolar pop, and they'll just, you know, buy a fifth or a pint of Jack Daniels, and they'll, just can't wait on wine because it helps you go to sleep. A lot of people are codependent, but freaking, I would come here and I'd listen to Ricardo Montaner on the Chromecast or the Xbox, connect to the Wi-Fi, and unwind. I'd come here with a 12 pack of Heineken. That's all I used to drink back in the days. If not, then there's several beer brands that I'll drink. Mainly beer, not really a hard liquor per se. Maybe by youth, I'd take chasers with Aaron, and we're the best of friends at one time, but I'll unwind here, and having my sister-in-laws visit us every day, I'd be like, all right, let's go to Aaron's. And it sucks because I've had family members show up, and during crisis, during tough situations, like for instance, my brother lost his vision, had found a tumor under his brain, where the tumor wasn't malignant, but they left him. They couldn't remove it because there was a chance that he might uh, go blind entirely. So that's better than nothing. So him coming out a changed person, he was positive for the most part, but how would be being judged based on the music I'll listen to. I'd get upset and I'd take off. I'd tell my wife, hey, let's go to Aaron's. So let's order some pizza. Let's order some Mothers. So let's order some Shenwalk. And it's what you make out of it. So you want to surround yourself with positive people. Hopefully this time, if I do, well, from the looks of it, it's looking good between Aaron and I, because we were friends back then. And that's how it happens sometimes. Friends will stop being friends, and then later on realize that of what they had. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, Aaron, for the most part, was the most important person in my life. I couldn't tell you a better brother than both him and George. And we had another brother too, Tim Saavedra, Miguel Beltran, Miguel Rojas, Big Tony, Marco Cortez, and at one point we were the Wonders until it became the Outsiders with Martine and I from stemming from Osborne Middle School. We all attended the Osborne School District onto high school where we were known and favored for our attitudes and seeing potential. We would considered a lot of things without realizing that those were the most outgoing, popular kids on the campus to doing what they wanted to. We play tackle football. We go into the lunch line and freaking shortcut everyone because it'll be my attitude's always forward, and that has consequences. Someone might not like what you do, but just one last moment. I wanted to spend my last few hours here and just recollecting of what I had to what someone set out to make it and realizing that, hey man, life is good, but you have to create that for yourself. You can't just be here with the assumption, well, I thought y'all had it made. And that's the origin of where we started having problems because, hey, criticism's there for a reason. In psychology, criticism's there to make you realize that you can do better for yourself. You're an American citizen. Have that tough skin like my uncle Astolfo would tell us, and just do it. Don't stand there blaming or expecting anything from anyone because life is short too. Like I said, 8 years flew, and without realizing how bad we've become, I choose to freaking make the difference because of the fact that I can now. Do you understand me? Yeah. But yeah, man, it's time to put all that behind us aside. And I like entertaining my neighbors. And I go out there and have a moment, and hopefully they can feel it. Hopefully they could spend their time wisely with, hey, you know something, we're gonna miss this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did partake in rooting him and his family, but at the same time too, I learned from all this and know that this could happen to you if you would like for that to happen. And with all honesty, probably no, because I don't think people should get involved in what's not theirs. And that's the truth about life. Because if I show, uh, I'll bring the whole broad aspect of the human mind. It's literally like a stain on the floor. You you had to freaking break your back to lift that stain off the floor to accumulate it on your back to end up slouching in the future. Because that's what it comes down to. There's a shame, and yeah, I am injured, but I'm slowly recuperating to the point of making my mind up. I am good, and there's physical and mental harm, but at the same time too, there's ways to cope with what is going on until you realize that, hey, you know something, you're only as good as you feel. For having go cross country while wearing uh, windbreakers to emulate the scene from Dumb and Dumber, while finding out that you went to the wrong state. I'll say that joke because of the movie Taxi Driver with Travis Bickle in his apartment with a bunch of returned flowers, and knowing that you're only as good as you feel. So you're gonna get judged no matter what. So with that being said, I'm gonna miss this place. Like I said, I guarantee you this. This is this is how the place looked. I mean, that's out of our control there, but this is how it looked when we first got the house. You know, it was complete. It was in mint condition, and had my family come here and turn this place into what it was at the San Miguel house. And I guarantee you this: when we were living there, I was the only one taking care of business while others kicked back and decided, well, if I had a kid, I don't have to do anything. And I don't understand the mentality of that. I mean, you think of Americans, they they plant this they plant this in their kids' head. You're gonna go to college. You're gonna be successful, and that's why the United States of America is one of the most successful countries in the world because of our upbringings. You have our forefathers teaching you that competition is there for a reason, but sometimes it's cutthroat, and you gotta be a good person. when you realize hopefully one day people will change, but some people are unchangeable. So it's up to you to decide whether you stay and keep falling for the same trap, or just cut the cord and you cut the cable, cut the cord, and realize that you better all by yourself. And I won't be honest with you, I went to a football game with my brother George. Went to a Cardinals game when Larry Fitzgerald was still playing with us, and man, I regret leaving to go watch All Bad by Myself, Tyler Perry movie. Or is it Tyler Perry? It is Tyler Perry. Perry. Because I wasn't feeling good. I had a hangover, and it's a good movie, but sometimes you have to realize in life that you are you. You shouldn't let anyone stop you from doing what you feel is right. So with that being said, it's time for me to make movements and relocate because this family's a bit immature and there's control freaks. I remember when my late mother-in-law met my father, George and Jorge. She freaking told my wife off the back. I was just 5 minutes with this person. I couldn't freaking stand them. And that's how it is. It's the ego. Someone always wants to be in control. Someone thinks in their mind that they are right. They know. When in reality, there are many that are equal or superior to you. So with that being said, freaking, it's just worsening to what it used to be in the past. And I spent years talking to my dad, and you just can't do that. You just can't force someone to like you. Uh, I like you enough to let you be. That's probably the best. That's possibly the best respect you give someone. Someone will consider a lack of communication. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna do what I don't want to do. Plain and simple. Nothing in my DNA says I have to do what you say. That's just how it is. So with that being said, I toured the place one last time. One thing I loved about this house was the closet space, and freaking every inch of it. Man, my wife and I could have. Yeah, that's Bella's pinata there, and both her and Billy are adorable children. I love my kids, and wish I was a father. Beat it up like pinata, like it like that, But I know she's gonna grow up to be a great person and know how to take charge of her life because of her inbred behavior to excel in life, and that's just how it is. One of those days, we're gonna come to a realization that we're not here for long, but making your dream come true is what it's all about. And just imagine that freaking someone. Look at this. This used to work. One of the reasons I liked this house was because the few months where it was just to assign people, which is basically my wife, my mother, and my brother. Uh, they see a good thing and some will come over. They figured, well, we don't have the means to do something else, but the best things in life are free. So why not visit a relative? But day to day, you kind of under the impression of they want to live here. Assumptions that we haven't made or we have to take care of them. I don't know where this comes from. Like I said, every American citizen has to fend for themselves, and working hard is well worth it. My advice is to just plan ahead and work hard every day and know that nothing lasts forever. So just imagine this. Look at this. I could easily turn the fan on, and just imagine in the summer and the AC works great. The AC works good. We'd watch movies. We'd have the Chromecast, and man, there was nothing like it. But friends, family member realized, hey man, you guys got a great spot, and they feel that you shouldn't have all this, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, this is probably a chance I'm gonna relocate and make all this possible. I see a lot of my relatives that are well off and realize that that's the only way where your family, instead of choosing to be productive, they're counterproductive, and it's sad. It's almost like they find out, okay, well, I'm gonna better care for myself. I'm freaking Lincoln. That's what cats do for the most part of their life. Is they just lounge around. But I should probably turn off the AC. I don't think it's necessary. This. But yeah, that's where we start. That's where we started. That's where problems started. My sister got upset for the simple fact that, hey man, this is my house. You came here because you couldn't cut it in life, and that's what I told Phoenix PD once she had accused me of raising my hand. It's almost like, okay, did I hit you? Did I? Nothing. But you accusing me of that is gonna have you with, okay, well, we didn't witness that. There's no apparent markings. And people will do that. They'll self-inflict damage, and you still can't prove that because for as much as they could be hickeys, they could be hater marks, and perception is reality. Unfortunately, to some people, but you can't prove it. If you don't know what you don't know, if you didn't witness, if you can't prove it, then why bother wasting your time? It's society. It's already bad as it is. Well, with that being said, I'm breaking the episodes in our last moments, like 6 minutes of at your disclosure with a final swig and a final tour of the room here. But they're Lincoln. So adorable. It's one of my favorite animals in the world. Look at yo, begging ass for my attention. Damn. Do you understand me? It's funny, I would always say that if I was a WWE wrestler, then I would freaking have the Black Sabbath warning song as my entrance music to freaking connect everything to Do You Understand Me? And that's what it's all about, just making sure that everything appears to be in order. Now, do you understand me? Yeah.